The functions f and g are defined by the given equations where x is greater than or equal to 0. Which of the following equations displays as a constant or coefficient the maximum value of the function it defines where x is greater than or equal to 0? Here we have two functions, f of x and g of x, and we have to find the one which displays a maximum value as a coefficient or constant. Okay, now let me consider the function f of x, particularly this part, 0.4 to the power of x positive 2. Let me write it over here, 0.4 to the power of x positive 2. And we know that the minimum value of x is 0. So let me plug in x equals to 0 into this stuff. Then we get 0.4 to the power of, when I plug in x equals to 0, it will become 2. That is 0 positive 2 is 2. Then the value of this expression is 0.16. Now let me plug in the next value of x, that is x equals to 1. Then we get 0.4 to the power of 1 positive 2 is 3. Then we get 0.064, the value of the 0.4 to the power of 3. Okay, here when I consider the base, it's 0.4, it's a value between 0 and 1. Whenever the base of a power is between 0 and 1, and when we increase the value of the exponent, the value of the power will decrease. We can see the stuff over here. That is when x equals to 0, the value of the power is 0.16. When I increase the value of x by 1, the value of the power is getting decreased. It's because of the base, because the value of the base is between 0 and 1. And we'll be getting the maximum value for this power for the minimum value of the exponent. Okay, here the exponent will have its minimum value when x takes 0, because 0 is the minimum value for x. Okay, now to get the maximum value for the function f of x, we have to plug in the minimum value of x, that is 0. So that the exponent will have a minimum value and the value of this power will be maximum. When the maximum value of this one is multiplied by 232, we'll be getting the maximum value for the function f of x. Okay, now let's get the maximum value of f of x. Let me write it over here. So that is f of 0, which is equal to 232 times 0.4 to the power of 0 positive 2. Then we get 232 times 0 positive 4. 0 positive 2 is just 2. Then we get 232 times 0.4 square is equal to 0.16. Okay, now let me multiply 232 and 0.16. Then I'm getting 37.12. So this is a maximum value of the function f of x. Now we have to check this maximum value 37.12 is displayed as a constant or coefficient over here in the function f of x. No, this maximum value 37.12 is not displayed as a constant or coefficient over here. So we can reject the function f of x in statement 1. Okay, now let me erase the stuff. Let's reject statement 1. Okay, now let's consider the second function g of x, particularly this part. So in this part also, the base is a value between 0 and 1. So the same thing we have discussed for the function f of x. That is, this power will get the maximum value for the minimum value of the exponent. And the exponent is x92. x92 will get its minimum value for x equals to 0, because the minimum value of x is 0. So when I take x equals to 0, the exponent will get a minimum value. In that case, this power will take a maximum value. When I multiply this maximum value by this stuff, I'll be getting the maximum value for the function g of x. Okay, now let's find the maximum value of g of x. Okay, for that we have to plug in 0 for x over here. Then we get g of 0 equals to 232 times 0.4 times 0.4 times 0.4 to the power of 0, negative 2. Okay, here 232. When I multiply this 0.4 and 0.4, it can be written as a power, that is 0.4 square. And 0.4, 0 negative 2 is negative 2. Okay, here 232. We multiply two powers with the same base, 0.4, 0.4. So what we can do is we can take the base ones and we have to add the exponents. That is 2, negative 2. We get 232 times 0.4 to the power of 2, negative 2 is 0. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1 times 232 is 232. Here I got the maximum value of the function g of x, that is 232. Now we have to check whether this maximum value 232 is displayed as constant or coefficient in the function g of x. This 232 is displayed as a coefficient over here. So in the given two statements, in the second statement, we get the maximum value 232 as a coefficient. So we find the second statement in answer choice B, that is 2 only. The correct answer choice for this question is B.